The Samsung Frame is a TV I have a lot of experience with. In addition to installing a ton of these, I bought one for myself. So is the 2021 version better or worse? And most importantly, is it right for you? Let's find out. What's up? I'm B the Installer. I've had a few of these Samsung frames in my hands over the years, but this year I actually bought one for our office so that I could really dive into all the features and play around with art mode for more than 15 minutes that I'm forced to with customers. So I'm going to show you all the features, the frame as art and as a TV, and lastly, like with all my reviews, I'm going to help you decide if the frame is right for you. But before I get into all that, please make sure to smash the like button so more people can see the video, and while you're down there, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and set the notification bell to all so you'll be notified whenever I upload a new review or installation video, or even a live stream where you can ask us all the tough questions. And if that still isn't enough help and you need some very targeted advice on buying a TV or how an installation would work in your home, you can sign up for a consultation on my website here and also in the description. So let's get into the box. And right away I noticed that the 2021 Samsung Frame is noticeably thinner than the 2020 model. So it's one of the thinnest TVs on the market. And there are actually feet for this TV which are pretty pointless since this TV is meant to be mounted on the wall. I mean, you could put it on the stand, but no one has had me over to install this on the feet yet, so I'm assuming most people wall mount it. Then you have the one wire and remote and power cord and some plastic pieces in a bag. If this is your first time looking at the Samsung Frame, then you may not know that in order to get this nice flush look, Samsung has two special pieces of equipment to make this easier: the no gap wall mount and the One Connect box. Now the One Connect box has been a really great way for Samsung Frame and some of the other Samsung QLEDs to just look nice and sleek on the wall while the box sits somewhere else and does all the thinking. And that may seem weird or a nuisance, but after hanging the LG G1 on the wall and trying to access the power and HDMI cords while the TV was wobbling around, this One Connect box from Samsung is pretty easy to like. It has all the stuff that most TVs have on the back, like the USB port, antenna for those who are getting by on airwaves, optical audio, and Ethernet, and then 4 HDMI ports, where HDMI 3 has the added benefit of being the eARC or Enhanced Audio Return channel. This allows the TV to send out high-quality audio from your apps or sources to the soundbar or receiver. And the fourth port is HDMI 2.1 capable, so you can connect your Xbox Series X or PS5 to get the gaming at 4K at 120 frames per second. The other box is the new no-gap wall mount, or should I say two wall mounts. In previous years, most Samsung Frame TVs had a single mount in the middle and the connection was straightforward. But in 2021, you have a knob or a bracket on each side of the TV and then two wall plates to space out and hang on the wall. The reason I point this out is because it's not an improvement. Installation is a bit more challenging, so why, Samsung? Why take away a conveniently located wall mount and replace it with two wall mounts that you must space a specific distance apart and do all that math without a template? I know many people will be able to do the install, but for others it could be way too much. Maybe Samsung just wants to keep us pros employed. Fear not, I've already made a full installation guide for the 2021 Samsung Frame, so you can watch that and see what I was working with before you attempt this at home. For this installation in our office, I have a Grand Media panel in the wall that just barely holds the One Connect box. Man, that thing is big. The reason I'm using this panel is to cleanly hide the One Connect box and because the one wire that connects to the TV to the box isn't in-wall rated. The number one question I get relates to the one wire and what to do with it. And because this cord carries high voltage and isn't able to withstand damage if snagged on a nail or splinter, we have to understand that it can accelerate or cause a fire if not properly installed. The easiest solution is just to leave it exposed. It's very thin and many people wouldn't even notice the wire. Okay, I would notice the wire. So you'll need to check with your local building codes, but if you're going to put it inside the wall, running it through a conduit may protect the wire. They also make a specific in-wall rated version of the wire you can buy, but it's like $200 extra. Because of these complexities, I made you that video of the Samsung Frame installed with a conduit, and in this case, hiding the box behind the TV works great, and that's how I'm gonna roll with it. And once up on the wall, the Samsung Frame looks pretty cool. And now it's time to turn this sucker on. So I grabbed the remote and the batteries. No batteries. The new Samsung remotes are pretty cool. They actually charge by USB or by light. Yes, there's a little solar panel on the back of the remote, so you don't have to deal with any corroded batteries anymore. Not to mention that this remote is very efficient and smart in its design. Simple direction pad and elevated sound and channel buttons. I only wish it had a backlight so I could see the buttons more clearly in the dark. So let's turn this on. In 2021, the Samsung Tizen OS doesn't look much different from the 2020 TVs. It's got a pretty nice setup and you can navigate to tons of apps. I use the Spectrum app and Samsung is the only major brand that offers it. And what I really like about the 2021 Samsung TVs, including this frame, is the new picture-in-picture features. You can split the screen up and watch YouTube on one side while gaming on the other half, or make one side larger than the other. And you can just hold your Samsung phone up to the TV and it recognizes it and prompts you to share your screen. So you can do a lot of things with this, and I'll leave it to you to get crazy and tell me how many times you can split the screen, but picture-in-picture is back and it's sweet. But let's talk about art mode, because yeah, I absolutely love this TV for art mode. Now it can be a little annoying because you have to get the TV set up first and then go into art mode, but then the pictures time out after like 20 seconds. What you have to do is actually log into your Samsung account, and then you get all 23 of those art pieces for free without that ticker. You can throw up each picture as is or add a matte in different sizes and colors. In addition, you can add your own art with the SmartThings app. And most of us have a ton of pictures on our phone, so uploading the best family pictures is sort of a therapeutic event because I feel like my entire life is stuck on that phone. Then with a little work, I was able to favorite some of the best pictures and then rotate them every 3 minutes, making a pretty awesome backdrop behind my live stream setup. There's a little learning curve because art mode is separate from the TV settings, but once you get in there, you can increase the brightness of the art pieces, set up motion detection, and even black out the TV after a certain amount of time without light or motion in the room. And I haven't even mentioned that you can get a ton more art by signing up to the Samsung Art Store. To be honest, I don't really care if you do, but they offer a free 1-month trial, and then after that it's $4.99 per month or $50 for the year. And I just paid the $50 because I need to see what they have and let you guys know, and there is a ton of art. I'm downloading new pictures every day. They organize the art by popularity, by museum, by mood, by color, and even by people who become famous after they died. I mean, isn't that most artists? I feel like there should be a lot more artists in this category. But it's definitely cool to browse all this art. And one really good bonus for the 2021 frame, whether you're uploading your own art or getting the subscription, is that the One Connect box can store up to 6 gigabytes of pictures instead of the 500 megabytes for the 2020 version. So 12 times the room for this big old One Connect box. But there is definitely room for improvement on this art mode. I would like Samsung to allow you to press left or right on the remote when you're in art mode and rotate through your current collection. Matter of fact, with all this focus on art mode, the navigation and selection of art should be much more advanced on this 5th generation TV. But no, the entire art mode is very slow. It's not you, it's the TV. But let's talk about the TV, because the quality of the TV is not too shabby. I mean, it's not the best TV in the world, but it's far from the worst. The Samsung Frame is an edge-lit 4K QLED that I call the 500 nit machine. What that means is it has decent brightness to watch your typical cable and streaming apps and all that, but it's not going to blind you with amazing HDR like the top Samsung QN90A will, or even look quite as good as the OLED TVs. The frame also lacks the anti-reflective coating that helps knock down ambient light. So those are two downsides, because in a bright room, it's tough to see a lot of the darker TV shows and movies if the TV isn't very bright and can't handle reflections. But in a room that you can control the ambient light to some degree, this TV is pretty solid for watching most shows, movies, sports, and even gaming. Yes, gaming. The Samsung Frame has great gaming features like HDMI 2.1 and the Game Optimizer to monitor the status of your conditions in game mode. But one drawback on all Samsung TVs is Dolby Vision. Dolby Vision is the most popular HDR format and will continue to be the standard. But with the Samsung Frame in particular, it's not a huge deal breaker because HDR movies, like the rest of the content, will look good but not great. So what's Dolby Vision really going to add? So let's get into who would buy this TV or not and what else there is on the market. As I stated last year, it would be pretty tough to justify the cost of this TV without the art. You can buy a TV with similar specs for half the price, give or take. Hisense and TCL make really good budget TVs with better features. And if you want to talk about similarly priced TVs, the Samsung QN90A is a better TV. Much brighter with most of the upside, but it doesn't look the same on the wall or display art in the same manner. OLED TVs like the LG C1 and Sony A80J are also better TVs. They're a bit more expensive, but both of them have fatter profiles, so you're not going to get that flush look to them. And displaying art on an OLED would not be my first choice. Now, the LG G1 has the same wall-mounted look to it and is a better TV, but it has HDMI cords and power in the back, so it's not quite as easy to install. The point is, there are better TVs. And if you're here to ask me if like the Samsung Frame can be mounted on an arm and turn left or right, or is it the best TV to watch movies like in the world, then I think you really don't care about the art and you should just buy the best TV for the money. Because if you turn the TV, then it's not really art on the wall, is it? But on the other hand, if you're looking at this TV because of the art mode, or you're making a compromise with a significant other to get TV half the time and art half the time, now you're on the right path. Because before the Frame came out, tons of people asked me how they could hide a TV behind a painting when they're not using it. And many people asked me how to put a frame around a TV. So voila, Samsung Frame has solved most of these problems. You can display art, a lot of art. The TV can go from art mode to TV when you walk in and out of the room. It has picture-in-picture, a ton of apps and features. You can even buy a customizable bezel for the frame if you don't like that black border and you want to spice up your room a bit. And this year you can even buy a wall shelf to create an entire Samsung wall. So maybe the Samsung Frame is not the best TV in the world, and I'd love to see Samsung push this up to 1000 nits or brighter and be a real HDR machine. But because it has the TV and the art and looks so good on the wall with the customizable bezel, I do think it's a great buy for many people. And most of you know who you are. So what do you think? What's the best feature of the Samsung Frame and what would you like to see changed? Are you part of a couple who's making a compromise to go halvesies on a TV/portrait? Let me know in the comments. Definitely smash the like button and subscribe to my channel. And you must watch the Samsung Frame installation guide before you buy if you think you can be the installer.